Hello everybody, and in today's video we will be discussing incremental and disruptive innovation in under 14 minutes. Let's begin by first explaining what innovation is. Within business, innovation is the process of introducing new or improved processes, services or business models that create value for the organization and its customers. Clayton Christensen, in his 1997 book, The Innovator's Dilemma, proposed two types of innovation, these being incremental innovation, otherwise known as sustaining innovation, and disruptive innovation. Incremental innovation, otherwise known as sustaining innovation, is a type of innovation whereby organizations make small incremental improvements to existing products, processes, services, or business models over a continual and sustained period of time, hence the nickname sustained innovation. In order for an innovation to be characterized as an incremental innovation, it must satisfy the following characteristics. It must consist of small, low-risk improvements conducted over a continuous and extended period of time. And it often incorporates a gradual process of evolution based around customer feedback, with the aim of enhancing competitive advantage. We also have some examples of incremental innovations. These may be product enhancements, such as new iPhones, process improvements, such as lean systems manufacturing, market expansion, and this is where existing products are brought into new markets. But there are many other examples, such as reducing costs, upgrading technologies, extending the brand product offering, enhancing customer experiences, optimizing the supply chain, collaborating with partners for improvements, and even improving environmental sustainability. Now, companies can achieve incremental innovation by setting clear innovation goals, fostering a culture of innovation internally, engaging with external stakeholders, assessing products and processes for potential improvements, and investing in research and development. But, as you can see in the bottom right, in order for a company to become incrementally innovative, these things must be done on a continual basis. For instance, a company cannot simply invest in research and development one time, nor can they only encourage internal innovation one time, nor can they only assess their products or processes on a singular occasion. It must be done constantly and continually, hence the nickname sustaining innovation, because companies must sustain this if they are to achieve incremental innovation. Moving on, a disruptive innovation considers a new technology, business model, service, or process that either A, disrupts and significantly alters existing markets, or B, creates a new market, thereby displacing established products and services. Now, it's worth mentioning that both the altering of markets and the creating of new markets can displace products and services. It's not one or the other, but they can both displace existing products and services. Now, in order for innovations to be categorized as disruptive innovations, they must satisfy the following characteristics. They must be produced by startups and entrepreneurs rather than market leaders. They must significantly redefine the market and all offerings therein. They must capitalize upon disruptive technology. The innovation must be unique and novel. All disruptive innovations must be high risk and have high levels of uncertainty. They must offer exponential levels of growth. And lastly, all disruptive innovations alter consumer behavior massively. Now, there are several forms of disruptive innovations, and if you look at the list below, in the brackets, you can find real-world examples of the innovation and what it displaced. Disruptive innovations could be products, such as when smartphones replaced landline telephones, Or they could be business models, such as the subscription business models replacing direct ownership. Or innovations could improve markets, technologies, processes, platforms, and even culture. And as I said, if you look at the bracket, you will see examples of all of these. Now, in order for companies to create a disruptive innovation, the following criteria must be satisfied. Firstly, firms must keep abreast with disruptive technologies. Once again, they must foster a culture of innovation. They must embrace risk and accept failure. They must invest in startups. They must also encourage internal entrepreneurialism. Firms must be willing to challenge the status quo at all levels of the organisational hierarchy. The status quo means the regular ways of working and of operating. And firms must think beyond their products to also consider new business models. For example, the newly popular subscription-based business model enables people to subscribe to movie platforms like Netflix, music platforms like Spotify, newspapers such as The Telegraph, and even beer companies. And with all of these examples being Netflix, Spotify, The Telegraph, and beer companies, they have all adapted their business model. And this is something that is very difficult for most organizations to do, but in order for a company to create a disruptive innovation, they must do it. Moving forward, disruptive innovations, as good as they are, cannot take place without a preceding disruptive technology. A disruptive technology is an innovation that significantly alters or revolutionizes whole industries. These technologies introduce novel approaches, functionalities, or efficiencies which challenge existing norms whilst also creating new markets. Disruptive technologies are important to mention because they are intricately linked with disruptive innovation. So much so, in fact, that disruptive innovation cannot even occur without the disruptive technology in the first instance. That meaning, disruptive technologies are prerequisite for disruptive innovation. Here are three examples below, purely because this concept of disruptive technology can often become confused with disruptive innovation, and I want all of you students out there to understand the difference between the two. So, number one, the internet. That is a disruptive technology. But the internet produced new ways of working, which in turn became disruptive innovations. For example, e-commerce, cryptocurrencies, and online gaming. These are all new markets and new innovations that came out of the technology we know as the internet. Number two is electricity. This disruptive technology enabled the creation of more disruptive innovations like electronic heating and lighting, which displaced existing markets for candles and firewood, whilst also creating new markets, such as LED lighting, torches, headlights. Can you see what I mean? Through the technology electricity, existing markets were displaced and existing businesses were removed. Now, the final example here is railroads. Railroads is the technology that displaced canals and horse-drawn carriages by enabling disruptive innovations such as passenger trains, minecarts, and freight trains. So the key takeaway here with this slide is that disruptive technology is different to disruptive innovation. Disruptive technology is a necessary requirement in order for disruptive innovation to occur. Okay. Now let's look at some successful examples of incremental and disruptive innovation. Firstly, with regards to incremental, Toyota's lean manufacturing processes, such as Kaizen and just-in-time, represent a perfect example of a sustained approach to incremental innovations, whereby over time, Toyota continually reduces waste and enhances efficiency through small improvements made each and every day. Whereas the light bulb exemplifies a disruptive innovation, which was brought about by the disruptive technology of electricity, as I mentioned in the previous slide. The light bulb in turn created new industries for LED lights, car lights and torches, whilst also revolutionising existing industries such as candlelight. Now moving forward, we are going to examine two unsuccessful case studies, two failures. Firstly, with regards to incremental innovation, is Nokia. Despite once being one of the world's biggest mobile phone companies, Nokia has failed to continuously innovate their smartphones. Instead, Nokia did large and random innovations, meanwhile their competitors, such as Apple and Samsung, incrementally innovated their products every few months or years, and as a result, Nokia fell behind and became unprofitable. Moreover, Blockbuster is a case of an organisation that was unsuccessful in disruptively innovating. As I mentioned 2 slides ago, the internet was a disruptive technology that birthed new subscription-based business models and online media. It totally revolutionised the video and movie industry. And whilst competitors such as Netflix took a risk and embraced the disruptive technology, Blockbuster resisted change and ultimately became unprofitable and ultimately failed due to their inability to disruptively innovate. So, to summarise, Clayton Christensen in 1997 proposed 2 types of innovation. Incremental, which refers to gradual improvements to existing products, processes or business models that result in sustained innovations and ultimately enhanced competitiveness. And disruptive innovations. Disruptive innovations are a radically novel approach to producing a product, process or business model which either A, significantly alters markets, or B, creates new markets, both of which end up displacing established competitors through an enhancement in simplicity, convenience, accessibility or affordability. Disruptive innovations, it is worth mentioning, cannot occur without a disruptive technology in the first instance. And there are many examples of both success and failure with both incremental and disruptive innovations. You can see some of them mentioned here, whereby the successful companies are shown in green and the failure companies are shown in red. Okay, and that is everything for today's video. In the next video, we will be covering revolutionary and breakthrough innovations as we continue along this theme of innovation. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, as it helps out the channel a whole lot. And I will see you next time. Adios.